But again, you're not going to fall behind if you don't do it, because in other MMOs, if you skip out on that group content, such as raids or dungeons, you can basically miss out on the best gear or the fastest progression paths. All right, this might be a hot take, but I think BDO is the best solo MMO on the market. And yes, this is my opinion. I know that there are other MMOs that could potentially be on this list, right? Some people would say Guild Wars 2, some people would say old school RuneScape, and others might say ESO. And honestly, I can see kind of where you're coming from because I played those games, and those games are definitely top contenders, especially if you're looking for a solo friendly experience. But for me, it's Black Desert Online. And honestly, the reason is pretty simple. I'm a pretty busy person with limited time, maybe an hour or two to play each day if I'm lucky, especially being a dad, which, hey, shout out to the dads out there. But you just never know what's going to happen. And yeah, my schedule is all over the place, right? Some days I may be able to log in at 1 p.m. in the afternoon on the weekend. The other days it could be 10 p.m. late at night, right? And just trying to coordinate group content with that type of schedule is kind of rough. And me personally, I don't like to feel forced to do, group content. And that alone, in my opinion, is kind of what sets BDO apart from many other MMOs on the market, right? Take something like Throne and Liberty, which is a very heavy based group oriented game. And, that's not a bad thing in itself, right? And it's obviously going to appeal to people who enjoy that, love of sense of community and group content. And, also I'm not saying that you can't play the game solo, but you're kind of griefing yourself if you do. But yeah, for me, it's just pretty challenging to juggle group commitments with my random schedule. So, my progress in those type of games always ends up feeling limited or kind of stalled. But with BDO, this is where this shines, right? Because the foundation of its design, better or worse, has always been revolved around, solo play, whether it's grinding mobs, questing, life skilling, or, whatever you like to do. Everything that you need to progress your character, you can do it solo, right? You don't have to rely on anyone else if you don't want to. I can hop in whenever I want for however long I want and still make progress. And that's pretty huge for me. Now, in an ideal world, to appeal to a variety of players, it would be best for an MMO to have, really good group play and really good solo play. And I think, BDO is trying to add in more group content like the Black Shrine Party Blitz system that they put in. But the group content is still definitely lacking. One big reason BDO works so well for solo players is the game's design philosophy, which embraces the idea of letting you choose your own path, right? If you want to spend your hour doing life skilling like gathering meat or fishing or cooking, hunting, whatever life skill you like to do, right? You can totally do that and still make progress. If you want to grind at Decius Crescent Shrine and stand at a statue and let the mobs come to you all day, right? You can do that as well. If you want to hop into the Black Shrine solo bosses, that's another option. You never really need a party to get you stronger or to, keep up with everyone else, right? And if you want to ignore the entire chat, right, the world chat, you can literally just turn it off and pretend that other players don't exist. However, that might make the world feel a little bit lonely, so maybe find a guild. But still, the point is that BDO gives you the freedom to choose exactly how you want to play, which is something that I value a lot in a game. Speaking of guilds, I definitely suggest joining an active, chill guild that doesn't have any requirements, right? There are plenty of guilds out there that are recruiting and are even like recruiting, new players, right, that have like zero mandatory requirements, and you can pretty much interact, whenever you want to. But the nice thing that with being in a guild is that you still get the guild buffs, which can be pretty helpful for your overall stats, but also for life skills as well. And you'll always have an option if you want to jump into some group content, then you can do that, right? Such as the newer group-based content, which is the Black Shrine Party Blitz, where you can take on a 5-person boss encounter that's got pretty cool mechanics, right? And it can be honestly a blast, and the rewards are pretty good. I just tried that out for the first time about a month ago. Also, shout out to Sand for being a super cool dude and hanging out in the live stream and essentially helping me to actually do the bosses. So huge shout out to him. But again, you're not going to fall behind if you don't do it, right? If you don't do the party blitz system. And, that's huge, right? Because in other MMOs, if you skip out on that group content, such as raids or dungeons, you can basically miss out on the best gear or the fastest progression paths. Now, does BDO have some flaws? Absolutely. The storyline isn't exactly the most engaging unless you're really into reading the lore and just trying to figure things out. The community can be a hit or miss, but I would say in general, most people are pretty cool and will help you out. You got the global chat that could be wild sometimes, which is a lot of games anyway, right? The gear progression can be frustrating, especially when your enhancements keep failing, but they do have a fail safe now. So once you reach a certain fail point, they'll just give you the enhancement. Pay to win, of course, that's in this game, right? Always has been. Now, it's stupidly expensive. Like, we're talking thousands of dollars to just get a single piece of in-game gear, which is honestly not even worth it. But yeah, you can get raw silver from selling costumes or processing the costumes down into cronstones, essentially preventing you from downgrading your item when you are enhancing. So it's a very important material to use, and it's definitely going to rub some people the wrong way, right? But I would argue that for a solo MMO experience, it's still at the top of the list for, me, despite the flaws. And I might be biased. Obviously, I've stuck with this game for over 9 years, but I think that fact alone kind of tells a lot, right? Because I haven't found another MMO that consistently fits my schedule and my play style. Of course, this is all subjective, right? I know some people would say Guild Wars 2 is actually better for solo play because the story is more engaging, the leveling up is more fun. You can tackle most of the open world content by yourself. So I definitely get that. Other people might say or argue that old school RuneScape is the better solo MMO because it has, a huge variety of solo friendly content, plus a pretty cool and mature community. And that's also a fair point, right? And then you have the other group of people that might say that ESO is the top solo MMO because of its kind of compelling storyline, quest line, the open world exploration can all be, done solo. And again, that's another solid contender, right? But for me, BDO is the game that's just given me the freedom just to log in, do what I want at my own pace, and then log out without feeling like I missed something crucial. At the end of the day, it really depends on your personal circumstances, right? Like how crazy your schedule may be and what you want from a game. If you crave constant group interaction, you might find BDO lacking, but they are seemingly trying to improve on that. If you hate the enhancement system, like I do, absolutely despise it, you might find it painful, which you were able to buy your gear off the market, and you still can. But if you want like the in-game gear pieces, like your weapons and now the accessories, you're going to have to enhance them yourself, right? So except for you can like buy a Debo and exchange it. But either way, for the most part, if you want like the in-game top tier pieces, you're going to have to enhance it yourself. So it seems like they are slowly kind of phasing out the ability to buy the best in slot gear pieces, which in my opinion kind of sucks. Some people would argue that's good. Whatever camp you fall in, let me know down below. If you're someone who just wants to, grind a little here and there and fish whenever you feel like it, hunt whenever you feel like it, do a few quests, or maybe test out the new group content once in a blue moon, then, BDO might be the game for you, right? Even after nearly a decade of me playing it, I'm still finding kind of new ways to enjoy this game. So yeah, for better or worse, maybe a hot take, but I'm calling BDO the best solo MMO in my personal opinion. But what do you think? What's your opinion? Does BDO deserve that title, or is there another MMO that you feel does solo play better? Let me know down in the comments, because everyone's circumstances are a little bit different, right? Some people have more free time to play, or maybe prefer a different combat style, or maybe they just hate the type of grind that BDO offers. But hey, thanks for watching. Thanks for staying until the end. You are absolutely amazing. Really appreciate the support, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.
Sunsets on that desert sky, it's just you and I.